Okay, so good day, family. Once again, this is your favorite Eugene Band. Eugene, yes, Eugene. This is your favorite. So, yesterday we began with certain things by saying you have to know how to grow our business. That is, any kind of business that we are doing, we have to know how to scale the business. How to scale the business. So when we talk about scaling business, what we are actually talking about is how to grow sales, the returns that the business bring to you, how to grow that business. Yeah, how to grow that business. So today, that's what the Eugene's financial world that you started following or you've been following is all about. So today, what I'm about to share with you is that I'm about to share with you some tips. Yes, some tips of starting and growing new businesses in Ghana. That is, as far as you are in Ghana, some steps, some tips, some ideas, some knowledge, the cons and the cons of how to start business right here in Ghana, that is in our country, how to start business. And also we will further on to discuss on how to grow new businesses. So what I'm sharing is how to start new businesses and also how to grow new businesses. Also, one of the things that you have to know is that in this series we will continue to share on how to grow old business. That is to say that if you're already in a business, how to grow it, because at times how to grow that is old businesses is quite different from how to grow new businesses here, how to grow new business. So today I'm sharing, but if you already have a business or you don't have an idea of starting a new business but already in a business of thinking on how to grow it, stay tuned, still continue to follow, continue to watch the video till the end, because some of the things that I'm going to share, I'm going to touch on those things. And also yesterday, that's in the previous video that I shared with you, I told you that some of the information that I'm going to share, they are going to touch our emotions here. They are going to touch our emotions, because most of the things that we know. So in this, when you watch my videos, one of the things you have to do that will help you is that you have to train yourself to unlearn so that you can learn. You have to train yourself to unlearn so that you can. So the things that I'm sharing with you, proves, things that yield results, not just the things that you learn in classroom. No. Things that rather yield results. That is what I'm sharing with you. Things that rather yield results. Yes, that's what I'm sharing with you. So, when you look at things that yield results, I'm talking about the tomato seller in the market, how she has been able to sell tomatoes for the past 30 years. How he has been able to sell tomato for the past 30 years and still her business is running. That's what you have to know. And how the onion seller has been able to sell, the one that sell Kobe and Momone, how he has been able to run that business for a very long time. Those are some of the things that I'm about to share with you, because that's what works. Looking at the basic things that way, because it is those simple things, that basic things, that when we are able to develop it, that's what become great. So in those businesses, those little businesses, though the structures and those things might not be the kind of structure that you want, but what makes that business run, that is your mom's business, your dad's business has been running for the past 20 years and it's still running. So those are some of the things that I'm here to share with you. So point number one that I want to share with you, point number one that I'm about to share with you is that I have so many points here. I have knowing what works for you. That is, as a businessman, as a new entrepreneur, you have to know what works for you. This particular point, I will share it. I'm about to share it as point one, and that will also be the last point that I will share in this video. Yes, so you have to pay attention. So it is our first point, and it's also still our last point. Knowing what works for you. Then point number two is that you have to know what works in Ghana, because you are starting a business in Ghana. You have to know what works in Ghana. So you can't be comparing what works in America to what works in Ghana. No, you will fail. You will just fail. So you have to know what works in Ghana. Point number two, you have to know how it works here in Ghana. So just know how it works here in Ghana. You have to know that, and I will explain all those points. So stay tuned. I will explain all those points. So stay tuned. And also, you have to know when it works here in Ghana. When does that thing work? You have to pay attention to that one also. Then the last one but not the least that you have to know is that you have to know what and how and when it works in the area where you want to start the business. So knowing how it works in Ghana, what works here in Ghana, when it works here in Ghana, you have to know how, when, all those things. You have to now bring it to your area, the location of the business, knowing how it works. Knowing how it works. One of the things that I also talk about is capital, because most of us, our problem is how to get capital for the business. But if you actually consume with your vision, capital is not a problem. Capital is not a problem, because I will share with you so many ways to get capital. Yes, or let me say so many examples or types of capital. Let me put it that way: examples and types of capital, because capital is not always money. That's one thing that you have to know. Capital is not always money. So you have to stay tuned and follow as I begin to break down these points that I've shared with you. Thank you.